The granddaddy of them all, the Breeders' Cup Classic, kicks off our 2025 Breeders' Cup coverage here on the channel. We're going to be leading you up to the Breeders' Cup with updates on all of the divisions. Of course, every Saturday we do our Juvenile Future Stars Friday update, but today, the Breeders' Cup Classic, we just had the Pacific Classic and the Jockey Club Gold Cup. We had non-favorites winning both of those races, kind of an upset in the Jockey Club Gold Cup with Antiquarian, and Fierceness defeating the odds-on favorite at 2-5 Journalism in the Pacific Classic. Meanwhile, we've got the first of the Breeders' Cup rankings, and right now ranking them from the Breeders' Cup writers, the top ranking goes to Sovereignty. Of course, Sovereignty winning the Travers Stakes in his last out. Let's take a look at that race. Small field, Sovereignty the heavy favorite at 1-5 in the betting. And of course, he did not disappoint. He made that move to run down the leader, and Bracket Buster had the lead. Sovereignty runs him down. Only a 5-horse field in the Travers, but Sovereignty showing a new dimension in the last couple of races. He's able to stay closer to the pace, and it seems like 10 furlongs really seems to be a good distance for him. He's now 3 for 3 at 10 furlongs. The big question when he goes to Del Mar, this will be his first ship out to California for the Breeders' Cup Classic. Now, Sovereignty winning the Kentucky Derby, a Grade 1, the Belmont Stakes, a Grade 1, the Jim Dandy, and the Travers. He'll be riding a 4-race win streak. He's going to train up to the Breeders' Cup Classic. And Sovereignty, of course, been ridden by Junior Alvarado. Maggie Wolfendale caught up to Junior Alvarado after that Travers win.
He's given you so many firsts. Obviously, as you said, your first Travers now, Kentucky Derby. Talk a little bit about just what this horse has done to you, your career, and your relationship with the Mott Barn.
Yeah, I mean, this is a horse of a lifetime. You know, it has done all my big wins come from him, you know, and like I said, I mean, I can't thank enough the Godolphin people, Billy Ma, for keep the trust in me, letting me ride those beautiful horses. And I mean, I got to thank this guy right here.
Bill Mott, the trainer of Sovereignty, Junior Alvarado, 3-time Grade 1 winner, and Godolphin Blue. Sovereignty going to be training up to the Breeders' Cup Classic and most likely going to be the favorite for the Breeders' Cup Classic. Now, we've got lots of other contenders. I expect to get a 12, 13-horse field. We're going to have some foreign contenders shipping over, maybe Forever Young getting a repeat appearance. We'll see who else wants to ship over from Europe as well. But Fierceness and Antiquarian added their names to the list of contenders over the weekend. Let's take a look first at the Pacific Classic. Now, the start of the race was kind of eventful. Fierceness ducked in towards that rail. There's an open area there. Fierceness ducked in, and look at John Velasquez just did a great job staying aboard, and that allowed Fierceness to kind of turn off. Some races he's been kind of keen towards the lead, so he got trapped a little bit behind horses, had a little bit of adversity, but Fierceness then was able to overcome that start. Meanwhile, Journalism opted to be last early, and, you know, he's got a little bit more tactical speed earlier this year. He was closer to the pace in the Santa Anita Derby, the San Felipe. He's last early, giving up lengths, and that may have cost him because he was behind Fierceness when Fierceness made the move. Now let's pick it up on the far turn. The other contenders starting to retreat. Fierceness basically inherits the lead and didn't have to use any energy getting to that lead. Comes into the stretch with the lead. Journalism starts to pass horses, but it's too much too late. Fierceness, you know, kind of a tweener. He can get 1.25 miles when he's able to kind of take that lead on his own like he did in the Travers Stakes, like he did in the Breeders' Cup Classic. He can run fast fractions, and he may have a speed edge on Journalism overall at that 10 furlong distance. So now Fierceness making that move on the turn, winning that Pacific Classic. The Beyer boys have spoken. Fierceness picking up a 107 Beyer speed figure at the 10 furlongs, 1.25 miles in the Pacific Classic. Now, Fierceness, that was a win and you're in, and he is going to go back to the East Coast, train up to the Breeders' Cup Classic in New York, and then head back to Del Mar for the Breeders' Cup Classic for trainer Todd Pletcher And I think John Velasquez going to be the rider of Fierceness, as he's ridden them to big victories in the past, including the Travers Stakes and the Florida Derby last year. Now, the Jockey Club Gold Cup on Sunday, big favorite in the race was Sierra Leone. He won the Whitney Stakes. A lot of trouble at the early start. White Abarrio having trouble. Mindframe losing his jockey and Irad Ortiz. And really, Phileas Fogg was able to get out of there, and Antiquarian had an uneventful trip. But let's pick it up. On the turn, Phileas Fogg comes into the stretch with the lead. Antiquarian getting a good trip right behind him. John Velasquez, the man on the spot with Antiquarian. Sierra Leone was wide after that trouble at the beginning. He had to kind of go over the rider, Irad Ortiz, so that cost him some ground. Ran well late, closed ground, but he had too much to do, ended up running behind Antiquarian. Now the Beyer boys have spoken on that one. A 108 Beyer for the winner, Antiquarian. That's up from a 104, losing by a head, neck actually, in the to Phileas Fogg, so he reversed that decision. Sierra Leone and Mindframe. I think Sierra Leone, they had said they were going to train up to the Breeders' Cup Classic going into that race. And then Mindframe, with him losing the jockey, we'll see if they train up to the Breeders' Cup Classic or if they elect to run in either the Lucas Classic or possibly the Woodward Stakes at the Belmont at Big A. So, Antiquarian, a win and you're in to the Breeders' Cup Classic. Now, win and you're in races, we've still got the Goodwood Stakes, September 27th. That's expected to draw Nisos. He was going to be one of the 3 favorites for the Pacific Classic. He scratched out of that race with a foot issue for trainer Bob Baffert. Of course, he won the San Diego Stakes. Nisos did. Then we've got the Lucas Classic on September 27th. That'll be at Churchill Downs. And we've also got the Woodward Stakes, September 27th. That's where we may see Mindframe next, although Mindframe did win the Stephen Foster earlier this year. Now, Sierra Leone, he, of course, was the Whitney winner, had trouble. He is going to train up towards that Breeders' Cup Classic at Del Mar. Last year, he won the 2024 Breeders' Cup Classic. Now, the Beyers in the Classic division, we've got Sovereignty with a 115 in the Travers, Sovereignty with a 109 in the Belmont Stakes, Sierra Leone with a 108 in the Whitney, Antiquarian a 108 in the Jockey Club Gold Cup, Journalism a 108 in the Santa Anita Derby, Fierceness with a 107 in the Pacific Classic, and then Mindframe earlier this year with a 105. Those are the top contenders as we head into September for the Classic division. Of course, we got our Saturday updates for the Juvenile Fillies, Juvenile Turf, Juvenile Fillies, and Juvenile Filly Sprint. I'll get more updates every Saturday leading up to the Breeders' Cup. Make sure to like and share these videos with your horse racing friends. The Breeders' Cup Classic, some top contenders, Antiquarian and Fierceness throw their hats into the ring. Nisos going to wait till the Goodwood Stakes, and we've still got the Woodward and the Lucas Classic. Don't forget, stats and information leading up to the Breeders' Cup Classic. We've got the Breeders' Cup Prospectus. Sign up free. It's in the description. Put your name in there. Just need an email address, and then you'll be notified first when that is out. Breeders' Cup Week 2025. Who do you like in the Classic division? Leave a comment. What did you think of the Jockey Club Gold Cup and the Pacific Classic? Share these videos, and remember what D. Wayne Lucas always said, people have opinions, horses have the facts.